Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Fireside Cast. I'm Eki in the booth with M17. We are coming at you with the Collegiate TF2 Fall 2024 Grand Finals between Cal Poly Gold and Virginia Tech on some very interesting maps today. One map I'm sure some of you have not seen before, I'm assuming unless you're in the collegiate scene. We're going to be playing on Bagel. Then we're going to be moving over to Skytrain. Interestingly enough, never seen this map before in my entire life, so this is going to be new to me. Then Sunshine, and then Snakewater, with Process Gully being banned in the map pick. In the map picks there, and it looks like Cal Poly Gold is going to have a one map advantage since this is a best of 5. I'm pretty excited here. I'm going into this with like a pretty fresh, mind. I don't have any expectations of either team, so I don't know if I can safely make a prediction, but for the sake of being able to cast more games, I think I want to see all of the maps get played. I want to at least see Sunshine get made too. We see at least 3 maps. I'm thinking Virginia Tech probably going to take home Bagel. I think it'll be like a 4-2 or a 4-3, but Virginia Tech will take it.
Wow. Yeah, I haven't seen much of these players personally, Eki. Well, there's a couple players I do recognize, particularly Cal, and I think I've seen Capitals before, but besides that, I don't really see any of these players, at least in RGL. So this is going to be, some fresh faces since most of the games casted on Fireside are RGL games. But I'm going to be interested to see what's going on Skytrain. I think I've maybe only seen it once before, but I don't really remember it. But of course, Sunshine and Snakewater are classics for competitive sixes, and Bagel is a new time classic. It's good to see some Bagel in this, just in this game in general. And you said you had a prediction. I don't really know what to see from. I haven't really seen much from either of these teams. I have no idea what any of their specialties are really, but I have a feeling we'll get some habits that we'll see pretty quickly going on in this match.
Yeah, I don't know if maybe we can get some channel point predictions running up so that our audience can gamble their channel points between the teams. But we do have one team readied up here. It looks like Virginia Tech is ready to play some video James and absolutely decimate the competition on Bagel. So hopefully Cal Poly Gold will be able to put up a strong defense against it. Granted, they are coming into this with that one map advantage, so they have shown that they are strong. They've earned their place here. They know what they know what they're doing, and I do think that again this will probably be very close. I don't remember. Does Collegiate League run halves still, or do they run the pro configs?
Based on, regardless, it looks like they're on the first to 4, so they probably run the same ones, but it looks like they're at least going to run the same one for Koth, where it's just going to be first to 4, but that's going to be the only Koth map. The rest of them are all 5 CP. So yeah, we'll see what that looks like, but here we are, we're about to get started. Virginia Tech versus Cal Poly Gold in the upper bracket, with them having a 1 map advantage. Here we go.
Yeah, getting in right onto this mid looks like I always want to be looking at these demos, see where these first couple stickies are going, just to see where that early damage is coming from. And it looks like VT wants to take that kind of valley rollout going into that low ground. Not a lot of damage being traded off on the first start of that mid here, but we do see Rapid trying to peek through the red house here, not quite able to find anything for it, but a little bit of cap time now coming out as Tomb tries to contest the point. Does eat a sticky for his troubles though, and is going to have to back away. A lot of stickies coming forward from the side of VT as Cow is absolutely carpeting the life out of this point. Demo is completely sectioned off from his beam, and now things have to get cleared up. Lemon is going to get taken down, and so is Nuke as Cow Cow and Rapid do find the projectiles onto him. It is going to be Pixelated backing out here. The med leaving, as I believe this is a sack attempt coming in from Cal Poly Gold, and it's successful as Bop lands the 3 rockets necessary onto AMRF, and VT loses their beam here. This is massive for Cal Poly, as they now have a free window of re-entry. They are going to have to get a good bit of cap time off of the point, but I think it's possible given the Uber is in play.
Yeah, especially with no heals also, although as we say that, Rapid already gets a kill onto Bop. Tomb traded that kill off pretty quickly, but it is Uber ad on the side of Cal Poly Gold. Cal gets a trap kill onto Nuke on the enemy demo. That's going to be huge. Tomb is very low. He's going to go down as well, and that is just 3 kills on the side of Virginia Tech. They're already going to push this back, and even though there's 1 spawner, they're just going to retake the point. Even though Cal Poly Gold has a player, or has the Uber advantage, they get another kill and the force. Lemon's going to try to chase, gets 1, still trying to chase pretty aggressively, was considering backing off, is still chasing, and does eventually decide to back off. And they're trying to refight point here in a 4v5. They do have the player advantage, as Cal did some damage, but is taking quite a lot, and Nuke is just absolutely destroying them. Now it's just the med and the soldier, and it looks like they're going to try to retreat.
Yeah, I think early on there, Cal Poly Gold not deciding to use that Uber, a little bit ballsy, but they managed to get away with it. But they dropped so many players outside of it that using that Uber became an act of kind of desperation. I'm surprised they managed to get as much value out of it as they did, considering, you know, it wasn't the greatest pop in the world, but they made something out of nothing. And it does look like we're going to see VT wanting to use over. Demo bombs forward, but no scout is with AMRF, so Cow gets dropped in that Uber, and it's all for nothing, as we're probably about to see AMRF get bombed here. Actually, maybe not. He is actually, as Bop finds his way through house, is going to find Rapid, now AMRF as well, and it does look like Q Apple is going to get pinched here from Tomb. A little too overzealous. Bop going to be fighting the point with his life, with everything he has. He is going to be fighting that point, and it does look like Ham a little overextended here, maybe trying to go for some kind of salvage, get that sack play onto Pixelated Knight, but isn't successful, and that's going to be full Uber ad for Cal Poly again, as we are watching the time slowly tick down. This still slight ad for Virginia Tech, as we do see a bomb come forward from Rapid here, trying to make some space for his team, and he is successful in doing so. We do see a little bit of a bomb attempt come out from Bop, and now Tomb trying to walk forward into the valley, is living for a lot longer than should be. It is going to be Poothtick finding him, and is going to be able to find that kill. The Uber does come out from the side of Cal Poly Gold now, and they're running across that point, going to be able to find Poothtick, but not quite able to find anything else. I do think maybe Ham can get some value out of this, as he does land onto Nuke now with Q Apples up at his side. Brothers in Arms able to take down Nuke here, and now it's a bomb from Rapid again onto Pixelated, is able to find the kill onto the beam for Cal Poly, is somehow still alive, has finally been taken down by Joe Schmo, and now I think Bop here in the red house might be taken down. Does manage to trade out with Poothtick right at the end, but Virginia Tech was about halfway on the cap. AMRF managing to hold on to that Uber, but Tomb able to find 2 picks there as he finds Q Apples and Ham. But with all the players down on the side of Virginia Tech, they can't really hold forward, and they can't hold on to this point as long as I think they'd like to.
Yeah, those were some interesting Ubers. That was Virginia Tech did it only with an Uber that was like miscoordinated, but they only had their demo in, so that led to disaster. Whereas Cal Poly had the other issue; they had only a scout in their Uber, and you generally want both a scout and an explosive in. Here comes the aggressive Uber from Virginia Tech. They do pick off the enemy medic in Pixelated Knight, and now they're just going to back their medic up. Bunch of trades happening here, and it's ending up just that Virginia Tech are going to retake the point, and they have a big player, or like a 2-player out, although that is going to go away due to the spawns. But since they're nice and healthy and their med survive, they're going to have only about a 15-20% Uber advantage, but since they have the point as well, they have that advantage of the enemy team has to walk into their spam and their traps and things like that. And here comes Cal Poly Gold.
Yeah, Cal Poly Gold coming in here. It looks like we're going to be seeing Nuke pressuring in through the blue house and getting a lot of value out of it, but not quite enough, as Pixelated and Nuke both go down here. No beam in play for the side of Cal Poly, and it's a bomb attempt coming in from Bop, but lands on top of a trap. It is a bomb coming in from Joshimo. Lands 2 rockets, 1 more. It's just a piece of splash needed, and he lands it at the very last moment, just before getting, actually doesn't even get taken down. He manages to find the pack and then wins the DM fight with Poothtick there. So great value from Joe Schmo, managing to find that salvage onto the beam for Virginia Tech with AMRF going down there. I don't know if this will secure the round for the side of Cal Poly Gold, but it definitely looks like it's going to at least put this into overtime, bare minimum. We do see just a little bit of passive play coming out. It does look like AMRF going to be walking forward as Cal finds Bop, is able to spot Tomb early, and now it is going to be a bomb from, I believe that was Ham there landing in and able to find that pick. Not overtime just yet, but 5 seconds left on the clock for the side of Cal Poly Gold. A lot of damage coming out from Cal as they've managed to find the double pipe onto Lemon, and with all of that splash as well, doing so much damage to those players on mana, it's going to be Rapid potentially getting killed here. Yes, Joe Schmo going to be coming in through the blue house, is going to be able to land on top of the nipple here and get a lot of damage. Nuke going to be able to find 2 picks for it, but they forget about that cap as Cal manages to find 2 picks there right at the end, I believe, with some stickies, and Virginia Tech is able to convert that first round, making the scoreline 1-0. I don't know if that would constitute as maybe like a C9 or what, but I feel like they just kind of forgot about the objective there.
That was weird. There was a lot of back and forth. The demo and med for Cal Poly Gold died, and they somehow salvaged. And then Virginia Tech, after taking back the point with a nice push, they clumped up so heavily that it looked like it would then be over for them. But then somehow Virginia Tech, Cal, and AMRF just somehow managed to win the fight. Here comes a push from Ham into the right house, getting some decent damage, but not enough to secure any kills, really. Looks like the health is pretty even since there are some low players on both teams now. Cal Poly Tech did get a kill, but they lost control of the point to Virginia Tech. They're already trying to retake it. Rapid is in the house, but Bach does a nice push in through the side house, catching.
Oh, they're getting
Rapid
wrapped
being
from
aggressive.
red house.
Yeah, here comes them from the left side. They do get forced.
Ooh.
The medic is also in the left house too, so Cal is going to try to chase, although Nuke is trying to body block for their medic to get out. And Nuke is going in even deeper into the pack, and AMRF dies after the Uber. All this is brutal for Virginia Tech. Cal Poly Gold is going to start retaking, or excuse me, they've still had the point this entire time, and their medics survive with a full Uber ad. That's brutal for them. And now Virginia Tech pretty much has to go for a 4-man sack if they really want to get something done.
Yeah, if Virginia Tech wants any hope of converting this point again, they have to go for some kind of 4-man, but it looks like they're going to maybe try and go for some kind of drive fight. I'm not sure what the strategy is here as they lose Cal, Ham, Poothtick, now Rapid as well. The Beam and Q Apples, AMRF and Q Apples, I should say, both trying to get a little bit further forward, maybe pressure from the back line a little bit, help their team, but that was really risky. You know, when you're doing a 4-man like that, you can't risk your Beam being out in the open somewhere like that. You can't risk, you know, getting jumped by anyone, really, getting ran at by a scout, getting jumped by a soldier, even by their demo, really. I mean, we've seen crazier, I'm sure. In our time looking at games, maybe demo reviewing people, we've seen some crazy crazy happenings, but it does look like Virginia Tech going to be pushing out here as we do see a lot of presence from Cal Poly in the red house, and now Virginia Tech going to be wanting to take that for themselves. Now it's going to be Ham bombing forward, trying to land those rockets on a Pixelated Knight, going for the wrap, but isn't quite able to land it and is going to get picked off by Lemon. Nuke is going to go down here, and so is Lemon, as well as Rapid is able to trade out with him, but the Beam for the side of Cal Poly Gold is able to survive, and this is going to be even Ubers, and I think they know about Joe Schmo alive behind them, so they're just trying to get him picked off as late as possible, get him on a very late spawn wave, force the players on Cal Poly Gold to wait for that spawner, but I do think it might be all for nothing. Well, maybe not. Hold on. It is Rapid able to pressure quite a lot in the backline, and now Poothtick able to find Tomb here. This could be another important pick for Virginia Tech to have, and it is going to be Cal able to pick up Tomb with a very well-timed sticky trap there. Just unfortunate circumstance for Tomb to have found it there. The point is pretty much entirely sectioned off. Somebody's got to clear these stickies away if Virginia Tech wants to push forward, but it looks like Bop is coming in through the red house, is going to be able to take down Ham and get a very nice avenue to spam. That force is going to come out as AMRF is trying to save their players, but saving both Cal and I believe it was Q Apples up there with them, but both of them going to be going down to Lemon and Joe. Now it looks like Puthtek going to go down. Bop going to be taking themselves out, trying to win a fight there. Now AMRF dying in the tail end of that fight as well, with Rapid now falling as well. 3 different spawn waves there is just not something you want to see if you're on the side of Virginia Tech, especially while you're now down 30 seconds. That's 30 seconds you could have trying to, make something work. It's not looking great this round for Virginia Tech, but I think there is still I think there is still an opportunity for them to make something happen.
Yeah, they're finally going to already be busting through, but not only are they down about a minute, they're also down 30% on Uber. Cal's getting some decent damage, but huge flank from Joe Schmo is going to get the kill into AMRF. Nice air shot from Cal to clean that up, but they're trying to, it looked like they wanted to try to go in for a 4-man. Yep, here comes Cal trying to go in really aggressive, gets the pipe, and Pixelated lives on like 4 HP, but manages to get the pack, and that's a full Uber secured. And since AMRF went down, this is looking really bad for Cal Poly. Actually, now that I say that, AMRF is on crits to try to salvage because they don't have much time, but with a full Uber, this is going to be really difficult. They're going to have to get the force and somehow, not lose everybody, but smartly, Cal Poly Gold just uses into everybody in house, and they are all dead. Now it's just Ham and Cal as a spawner. Ham is very low, is going to go down as well. It's just Cal, and this round is completely over. Yeah, big issues there from Virginia Tech. They keep clumping up, and they're getting punished for it by Cal Poly. Although they're trying to have a little bit of fight just right at the end, see if they can potentially get to the point. They could get capitals onto the point, but it just wasn't enough. They were already down a minute 45. That was a much more convincing round for Cal Poly Gold.
Yeah. Unfortunately for BT, like you said, they are bunching up a lot, and Nuke and the soldiers, even the scouts really, are just able to pepper them from so far away and get so much splash and just spam damage onto all those players. Their health tends to be really horrible, so one good soldier bomb, one good scout flank, maybe even just 2 demo sticks could really seal the deal for a Virginia Tech fight, and we've seen that happen a couple times now. But going into this next fight, maybe Virginia Tech has realized that, but it does look like Bop going to be finding the first pick of the round onto Rapid, so Virginia Tech already down a player, and that opens up an avenue for someone to try and get in through the red house, and it looks like what Bop wants to do is trying to go for the spam, is very weak, tries to jump away, and takes himself out. So it is even players with Cow down for the side of Virginia Tech, though. I can respect their decision to want to back away for the time being and just let this fight play itself out. Wait for your demo to come back, push off that player advantage. They're down a soldier. It's not like they can really bomb you or punish you too hard for overextending. We do have a shove coming in through the blue house here as the main push on the point happens, and they are trying to get that point. The Uber exchange does come out from both teams here. The Uber looking a little bit better for the side of Virginia Tech as a brawl happens on concrete. Boostek going to be able to find Joe Schmo, and now maybe Rapid going to be able to find some spam kills, but not quite, as Lemon gets arrow tanked, I believe, by his beam, and is able to find the pick onto Rapid. So with both soldiers down on the side of Virginia Tech, this isn't looking too great for their side right now, as Cal Poly Gold has a very open opportunity to try and push forward and take that point back and keep the time ticking down in their favor, as we do see Bop bombing forward, landing 2 nice rockets under the beam, a downward direct to seal the deal as they find that pick onto AMRF. It is not looking good for the side of Virginia Tech here, as we do see them trying to go for a salvage play. Ham trying to land onto Pixelated, but no one is able to find where the beam is in time. They are able to find Nuke at the tail end of the fight, but looks like Tomb going to be going on a little 4K there, able to wrap up that point in a nice little neat bow, keeping that 30-second time ad for Cal Poly Gold.
Yeah, that was huge. It looked like it was going to be after. It looked like they were, Virginia Tech was just going to have to play that passive because they were down players, but they committed a little too hard, and then they got punished for it. Now it's just going to turn into a big advantage on the side of Cal Poly Gold. Toon gets an early kill into Ham and survives. Bop did go in for an early kill, actually did trade with AMRF. That is huge. And now they're going to lose another one. Virginia Tech is in a really bad spot. They're down 3, and Cal Poly Gold knows exactly what's coming. They know the bombs are coming. Air shot for Nuke with the cleanup from Joe Schmo, but they actually decide to just leave Rapid Squirrel alone. Q Apples dies. Ham is trying to fight on the side, but there's a bit miscoordinated on the side of Virginia Tech, especially with, how much they've lost control of the round. They really need to get something back, try to do something coordinated, see if they can get this 4-man sack going, because they really need to force out this Uber if they want to be able to break this point.
Yeah, they need to decide on something soon, and it looks like we've just witnessed that beam folding under absolutely no pressure, but can you blame him? He sees two soldiers coming at him at Mach 5, and that Uber comes out. But with the Uber being out of the equation now, not really anyone dying on the side of Virginia Tech, you know, in terms of advantages or anything for players. Looks like they have this point pretty much for free. They just bombed forward, lost a soldier, and traded him out almost immediately. That's a pretty successful four-man, if I do say so myself, and it looks like Virginia Tech is going to be able to grab onto this point, clawing their way back into the fight from what looked like a pretty destitute situation where they were very fragmented, really all over the place a lot of the time. But they are able to hold on to that point, and it does look like we see Cal Poly trying to do some kind of four-man of their own, maybe, or maybe just trying to push out from lower. Joe Schmo does get taken down by Rapid, some nice rockets being placed, but yeah, I think Cal Poly just wants to take the fight here, as it does look like Q Apple's going to get taken down, but they are going to trade out with Bob now. Lemon as well. Cal finding this final sticky. Tomb almost dying, but at the very last moment, saved by the bell. It looks like Pixelated going to be able to land that nice arrow. Ham getting so much space on the concrete for his team, opening up a possible forward hold for them here. But with Ubers being even, I don't know if that's necessarily the decision they want to take. A lot of damage coming out from both teams here as Pixelated is forced early. Some stickies coming out from Cal, absolutely decimating that Uber. Any hopes of an exchange are absolutely crushed. Now the counter pop coming out from the side of Virginia Tech as they walk forward. Cal going to be able to land a lot of nice damage. Ham actually goes down in the back line, but it looks like Cal's going to be able to find Nuke here. Joe Schmo is able to escape, but Cal Poly Gold does lose 3 players. Bop dying in the back line there behind the point on Virginia Tech's side. Virginia Tech has managed to claw back a minute and a half worth of time, potentially giving themselves a window to wrap up this round and make that scoreline 2-1.
Yeah, this is looking a lot better for them, but then again, they are still 50 Uber disat here, and they also don't have their heals, so Cal Poly Gold is just going to retake the point. They even get another kill. Ham does trade out that kill, getting a kill onto Tomb, so it's 5v5. Q Apples is already trying to bait the cap, trying to get the the control point taken right back, although Q Apples dies after Lemon denies the cap by just standing on it. You know, blocking that capture is really important. There's still about a 60% Uber out on the side of Cal Poly Gold, and here comes the Uber after a ton of damage from Lemon. They're collapsing onto both Cal and
denying the cap?
But they didn't deny the cap, but because of what they did, they're getting so many kills. They did leave AMRF alive, and they're going to retake the point, but because they got so many kills, it's going to be just completely fine for them, and they are going to take control of this very shortly and embarrass the second round on the side of Cal Poly Gold.
And I was thinking maybe just maybe Cal Poly Gold might decide to stick on that point. No kills would really come out of it, but they would stand on that point and try and milk out the entire duration of the Uber, just to prevent any extra time from getting added onto the cap. But looks like that's not the case. They wanted to just go forward and kill everybody, which, you know, it worked out for them. So they were able to find that round, making the scoreline 2-1, not in favor of VT, but now in favor of Cal Poly Gold. And going into this first mid, nobody dying yet, not a lot of great spam coming out from either side right about now. Joe Schmo is inside of Blue House, practically uncontested at the moment. But now, as Virginia Tech starts to push forward, Tomb is going to get taken down inside of the left house, or the red house, rather, my apologies, as we see Nuke eat a nice downward rocket from Ham, but all that fall off really decimates that damage output. Bop is still on the point, not getting shot at by Ham, nor Q Apples while he just stands on his side of the point. On the floor, no less. Lemon dying there, though, kind of shatters the hopes and dreams of Pixelated being able to walk out as quickly as I think they'd hoped to try and find something. Well, Joe Schmo finding that pick onto Rapid, this opens up a very, very big window for Cal Poly Gold to try and find themselves a way into the point. And it looks like they found one without even having to hit right-click, at least just yet. Puthtik going down here is pretty detrimental. But Bop and Tomb also fall inside of Cal Poly. They do use the Uber for this pick, or for these picks. They actually do manage to find Nuke in the tail end of that fight as well, but Pixelated standing strong. The Bulwark has not used their Uber just yet, with Q Apples going down. I think this is Pixelated looking to maybe Uber in on top of the point, and yes, they will. They use that Uber. They're going for as many picks as possible, beelining it towards AMRF. Not quite able to find him just yet, and that Uber is going to fade with nothing but Cow being sent to the slaughterhouse there. And I do think we are going to see Lemon here, barely, by the skin of his teeth, managing to survive. Nuke as well, barely managing to survive. It's now Bop bomb forward, lands a nice splash onto AMRF. It is traded out by Rapid. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, some crazy stuff happening there, but a common thing that just keeps happening is it looks like Virginia Tech has a decent hold, but they're just all pumped up on the point, and what happens then is the enemy team is just able to overspan them and collapse. You can see right here, there's already a lot more spread out players on the side of Cal Poly Gold, so they're doing pretty well. Here comes a left house shove on the side of Virginia Tech. They're looking for some space, but they're not really going to get much of anything. They do at least take some starting space on the point. It's about even health so far. Lemon doing some decent denial of that cap, but right now it's about even, I would say, although Cal gets 2 huge kills on both scouts. That's really going to help. A soldier fight here in the left house that is going to be helped by the side of Q Apples, and now down 3 Cal Poly Gold are just going to have to back out. They do have about a 30% Uber ad, so if they can get their scouts here quick enough, they might be able to use it aggressively to catch out Virginia Tech. But right now, Virginia Tech is just getting healthy, and it looks like they're trying to set up that forward hold that was working out for them earlier. Although the big thing about a forward hold is you want to spot where the enemy's combo is coming from early. And they did get a bit of a spot, but it was not early enough for Cal to set up some traps or stickies to actually, deal with them. So Q Apples is going to get 1 pick here, and it looks like it's about to be traded by Lemon, and it's 5-on-5 in the point, and it's even Ubers, and Lemon is going to take the Uber.
That Uber getting taken in now, that Uber exchange on top of the point, looking a little bit better for the side of Virginia Tech, but not by a great margin. Looks like we're going to be seeing a massive bomb coming forward from Joe Schmo, and a little bit of help from Lemon as well as they find AMRF. Lemon and Nuke both going to be taken down by Cal and Rapid, respectively. Joe Schmo and Bob both going to be able to find Ham and Cal at about the same time. Q Apple going to be able to trade out with Joe Schmo, but 3 players being dead on this side of Cal Poly Gold. They are going to have to take a lot of time back off of the clock here to really make anything worthwhile in the next fight, as Virginia Tech is about a minute worth of time, and we could be seeing the scoreline go up to 2-2, but it ain't over until the fat lady sings, and we do see Bob and Lemon moving forward. Bob is going to be able to find AMRF, and now Rapid going down to Lemon. Cow going to be able to trade out with him. Or Cal going to be able to trade out with Bob, and vice versa as well. Pretty much a team wipe for the side of Virginia Tech, and that is going to be Cal Poly Gold grabbing that point back. They were pretty much grasping at straws going into that fight, I feel, but they made it work, and they made it work very, very well. So Cal Poly Gold there with that successful fight. It does look like Virginia Tech, no fear, just wants to bust out here, maybe going for some kind of 4-man. We saw them do it from Concrete before, and I think that's exactly what they're doing. A lot of great spam coming down from the soldiers, and it's a nice rocket from Rapid onto Pixelated Night. It is nighttime for Night as we watch them go back to the respawn clock. Now Nuke and Lemon both going down. Joe Schmo, pretty much the last bastion on the point, jumping forward, trying to find the beam, but is taken down instantaneously by Q Apples. And Virginia Tech is going to be holding on to this point for a little bit longer. Only 25 seconds left on the clock and counting now, 20 remaining for Virginia Tech to convert this round and tie up the scoreline. They now also have Uber, which is going to be massive for them. If their beam just pops at 8 seconds, if they just use on the point right now, no cap time could come out from the side of Cal Poly Gold, but it looks like they're going to let the cap go down into overtime. Now they're going to be using about 50% as pass. They're going to be going forward. Sloppy coming out from Knight onto Puthtik here, as we do see Joe Schmo finding 2, Cal and AMRF. They're actually able to flip the point back into their favor as Rapid goes down to Joe Schmo. Lemon able to find Q Apples in the backline as well. Virginia Tech completely botched their Uber there, completely botched their push. It is not looking great for them at the moment, but they do still have 50 seconds and counting to try and make something work. work, and they are just trying to get as much cap time as possible. All they have to do is flip the point and they win the round, and that's all they're going for here. Trying to dish out as much damage as humanly possible. Nuke standing on top of the point is going to eat a lot of damage, and now Ham going to be able to find the nice downward rockets to find 3 players, Nuke, Lemon, and Tomb. It looks like Nuke is on the receiving end of their name here, as Virginia Tech is going to be tying up the scoreline 2-2.
Yeah, that time there was a few really key instances where, where Virginia Tech were just able to, after they got the medic kill, they were able to essentially just protect the rest of their team and protect their own medic. You know, once you have heals, you can play that long-term fight because you can take the same damage that, you know, the other team just can't. Although, as we say, that AMRF already gets hurt really early, has to go back for a lot worse health on the side of Virginia Tech, and Lemon actually picks off Cal. That's a huge kill. Demo kill is very important on the first initial fight. Rapid takes a fight against Bop and Tomb in that left house, and that's 2 down already, and Cal Polygold instantly takes the first mid, and Virginia Tech is going to have to try to bust through this hold, you know, trying to find that path of least resistance.
Yeah, with Virginia Tech having a very, very rough window to push out of here. Only 20 seconds worth of time disad, creeping closer to 30, but Cal does manage to find Bob, and now Apples without Papustik able to find Joe Schmo as well. This is looking a lot better than before, and it's a bomb from Rapid onto Pixelated Knight. Not quite able to land that final rocket, but if someone were able to weasel their way in through the back line, maybe they could find that pick, but no, not quite, as Knight has fully healed here. But Virginia Tech does have that point. It is even Ubers at the moment, so anyone's game as it stands right now. Spawner is coming up for the side of Virginia Tech, as I do believe we have Rapid rolling out now. I do believe Ham just tried to bomb in, going for some kind of early force, and that did not pan out well for him, as they do go down for it. That's a 10-second respawn, but Lemon getting traded out. Joe Schmo all the way in behind. Let's not forget about him, but there is a wrap coming in through the red house. It is Cal completely pincered from all sides. Joe Schmo is on his right. Nuke is right in front of him. Manages to eat a pipe from Cal, but not quite able to do much else beyond that. Oh my goodness, Joe Schmo is able to get the pick onto AMRF here. Beautifully placed rockets, but Rapid going to be able to find the Minecraft kill onto Nuke as well, just at the very, very end of that fight. Virginia Tech able to grab onto that point. This is pretty even in terms of time, in terms of the fights we're seeing taken. But right now, I think we're about to see a nasty Uber exchange taken from Cal Poly, but never mind, as the double sticky trap kill from Cal will net Virginia Tech at least 5 more, maybe 10 more seconds worth of time on the clock. And I do think, looking at this now, nothing really special is happening between these teams. I think Virginia Tech might... Oh, never mind. I was about to say they might get that Uber, but no, it is going to be a pop coming out from the side of Cal Poly Gold, and they're going to be running across the point here. Lemon trying to find something. It is going to be Ham finding Nuke, and now the skip from Joe Schmo over the point, going to be trying to land onto AMRF, but is not successful. Still holding on to that Uber. Cal going to be able to find Tomb here as well, with Q Apples finding Lemon. And Knight trying to peek out spot for his team. Bob going to be trying to get in through the red house, but is not able to find any value from that play, so is likely going to die inside of red house. Does actually manage to find Poo-Stick here, and maybe finds another, but no. Bop does crater. Does get a lot of value, a lot more value than he should have. Able to find a scout on the side of Virginia Tech is going to be very, very strong. Q Apple's going down now. No scouts alive for the side of Virginia Tech. They can't afford to give up this point, so hopefully they realize that. Cal going to be going for some trap kills here. Is going to be able to find Tomb, and now some pipe kills onto Lemon as well. So now 2 players down for the side of Cal Poly Gold with that extended respawn time now that they own the point. This is looking great for Virginia Tech. We're waiting for them to maybe push in with this Uber. Soldier bombing forward. Ham making a lot of space for his team, clearing those traps away. Excellent work. That Uber is going to get used from the side of Virginia Tech, and they're going to be running forward. They are going to be able to find Pixelated Knight, which is about just the most valuable pick I think you could ask for beside Nuke going down there. But 2 players dying. Q Apples now 3 with Poo-Stick and Ham going down. Not the greatest Uber ever, and now, ooh, the garden attempt from, I believe this is Bob here, lands it, but Cal gets arrowed at the last frame just before getting blown up by that rocket and is able to survive. But with Virginia Tech holding onto the point for so long during that fight, they got the time down to 26 seconds. It's a minute and just shy of a minute worth of time add now for them to play with. I don't think they know about bot behind them though, so things could get really messy and really nasty if they are not careful. As I do see Bop walking forward, is going to prioritize the scout pick here. Not a bad idea. Going to be opening a lot of opportunities for his team as a nuclear jump comes in from Bop with help from Nuke himself, working together. Able to find just absolutely insane amounts of damage. An air shot attempt coming out from Bop, not quite able to land it onto Rapid, but Nuke is able to trade him out there. Dynamic duo, it seems like, as they just have so much damage flooding out.
Yeah, there's a lot of big trades going on here. It's still looking in the favor of Cal Poly Gold here, and that's just because of the Uber advantage they have, although Virginia Tech is going to try to immediately bust through that right. Not really a forward hold setup, so Cal Poly Gold has to just give it up. Mr. Puthik is already in the right side house. Nuke does get a kill onto Ham, but the Uber is forced, and that's really big for this fight. Although they do lose 3 on the side of Virginia Tech, and if they're not careful, they might get flanked by Bop. They're sitting in this corner. They have no idea. Bop just comes right on around the side, but there's not really any support from the rest of Bop's team, and that means they're just going to be able to get that kill. And even though there's 10 seconds left, this is actually looking a lot better for Virginia Tech. They have that Uber edge, which they'll use to push in. Ideally, they can get the cap before the Uber time. Here comes the flank house push and the Uber. They get 3 kills, and they're able to get the med. That's crucial for Virginia Tech. All they have to do is protect their med's life and keep everybody alive, and this is going to look really good for them. They secure the point. They get everybody healthy. They only lost 1 player, so this is going to be incredibly difficult as Virginia Tech set up the forward hold, and Cal Poly Gold have to break through that hold and cap the point all in 10 seconds.
Yeah, Cal Poly Gold has a high task in front of them, but I do think it is something that they might be able to answer to. Tomb going to be trying to wrap around the point now. Bob jumping forward as well. They're not contesting the point very well on the side of Virginia Tech. Now 2 players down with Cal being dead. It's just up to the soldiers to provide additional spam. Joe Schmo jumping up on top of the point. He's going to be able to find Ham. Now Puthik going down. QApple going to be able to find Nuke here at the tail end, but it's still going on. AMRF hasn't quite died yet. Is in the middle of a fight with Lemon being beaten to death by a bat with nails rammed in it. And that is going to be Cal Poly Gold answering to that high call, able to pick up that final cap and turn that round in their favor from what looked like a very detrimental, very desperate situation. This does put it at map point, though, for Cal Poly Gold. If they're able to take this, we will be moving on to Skytrain, I believe is what the map is called. But if Virginia Tech is able to win this, we'll see the final penultimate round of Bagel after.
Yeah, but and already an early pick on the side of Cal Poly Gold. They're able to get the point as well off of that pick. A lot of Virginia Tech very clumped up. Cal very low. Mr. Puthik and Cal all go down. That's 3 players down, although they did get a spawner. But this fight was completely won by Cal Poly Gold. And they're already going to be trying to get healed up. Although one thing they need to make sure they do is protect their medic. And see if they can maybe get some sort of hold set up. You know, trying to delay as long as you can. Remember, Koth, it's all about trying to buy as much overall time as the round timer. Huge situation. Everybody on Virginia Tech pushes through the same door, and then they just use Uber on the side of Cal Poly Gold, and they absolutely destroy them. Everyone except for Ham going down. Huge misplay on the side of Virginia Tech, and Cal Poly Gold very well punished that. And now they're going to have a very strong hold setup, and this is going to be very difficult for Virginia Tech to try to push through. Ham is trying to do a little bit of spam for now, but here comes the initial attempt at that push.
Yeah, the initial attempt for that push, not very great for Virginia Tech there as they all try to walk through that same door. You can't do that. You just can't. It's a fundamental mistake there that, you know, unfortunately was made, but Virginia Tech is going to be able to bounce back from that, and they are now out on their own concrete, only losing Rapid there in that initial fight, but now it looks like Puthik going to be going down as well. It does look like Lemon going to be dying right before the actual big fight has started, and now Bob trying to get some spam through the left house, or red house, sorry. Not quite able to find any picks for it, is actually almost taken down by a scout there, but is almost able to take down Rapid, and now getting so much spam just because he's not being focused down. You can pinch him while he's in that house if you jump from concrete to the little ledge by the point. Could have killed them a little bit, well, way earlier, and opened the window for Virginia Tech to be able to do something, but it does look like we're going to be seeing Rapid trying to go for some kind of rat play. Maybe find something, but is going to get taken down by Lemon. Not quite able to find that angle that is necessary to really have anything work. And unfortunately for Virginia Tech, they're down 2 minutes, and it's mere seconds, really, until the masses witness Skytrain if Cal Poly Gold is able to hold on to this point so aggressively, and Virginia Tech has just not been able to break out of their house past the first fight. AMRF gonna go down here, and they just Uber right in front of them. It's so unfortunate for the side of Virginia Tech here with 30 seconds remaining. It is so close for Cal Poly Gold. Virginia Tech is really got to pull something. Got to pull a rabbit out of their hat here if they want to make anything work. They have 15 seconds here. A bomb coming in from Joe Schro. This is disrespectful. The pinch coming in from Lemon and Bop with Knight as well coming in through the house. It's a full team flank. Not even able to get the cap off of no pressure on the point. It looks like 3, 2, 1. The point about to flip over, but not quite for Virginia Tech as we're now in overtime. The cap getting reverted. It is going to be Rapid trying to land onto the point at the last moment. Juggled up into the air, though, just high enough to leave the hitbox of the point. And ladies and gentlemen, all pals watching, that is Cal Poly Gold taking Bagel 4-2. Not quite the outcome I had predicted for that game, but the scoreline is the same nonetheless.
Interesting game, the way that there was just a lot of back and forth. You could never tell who really felt secure, but then right at the end in those last few rounds, it looked like Cal Poly Gold really learned how to punish some of the big mistakes from Virginia Tech. The two big things we're really seeing is Cal Poly Gold was punishing the clumped up players, and they were also punishing the fact that AMRF, the medic for Virginia Tech, was constantly getting picked. And losing your med, especially on Koth, is really something you have to avoid, or else you're just gonna lose. Medic is the most important class for a Sixes team, and you can't just lose your medic all the time, or else you're going to get punished.
Yeah. And I do have the logs pulled up here, and I have posted them in our Mumble just so we can look over them for quick reference. This is a pretty devastating showing. Well, actually, now that I've filtered it properly, this doesn't look that devastating at all. It's not too devastating. I mean, if you look at the kill disparity, 128 kills on the side of Virginia Tech compared to the 170 dished out by the side of Cal Poly Gold, but somehow, some way, Virginia Tech has more damage, granted not by a lot, only by 100. Virginia Tech still has more total damage with 55,340 compared to Cal Poly Gold's 55,253. So,
yeah,
they're getting damage, they're just not converting it, I think, is their major issue on the side of Virginia Tech right now.
Yeah, there's a few big key things that are happening, and the reason for that, I'm sure if some of you noticed in the logs, but AMRF had 23 medic deaths, and that was more than their own demo Cal, who was doing their best, 38 and 23, but 23 medic deaths compared to the 8, practically 3 times as many as the other med. That is a huge deal. I cannot stress that enough. There was a 40 kill disparity, and even though Virginia Tech had a little bit more damage, that and the just higher medic death amount, and the overall clumping, which means you just lose fights essentially. It's just something you can't deal with. They only had 3 fewer Ubers on the side of Virginia Tech, which is kind of surprising. But the big thing is just 23 medic deaths is something you really have to avoid, and that comes down to a few things. Making sure your medic is aware of those soldiers, so making sure your team is calling out those soldier bombs where they're coming from. And the other big thing is your combo scout. You've really got to always keep track of both soldiers. If you don't know where both soldiers are as combo scout, you got to be panicking. You got to be thinking, oh crap, where are both soldiers? Because if you don't know where they are, they could be bombing around the side to get onto your demo 1 medic, and it looked like that just kept happening. And Bagel was a notorious map for that, because if you don't control the houses well, or you don't constantly watch them, it's really easy for flanks to come out. So that's why that's probably exacerbated a bit. It probably won't be as bad on this map of Skytrain, especially if Virginia Tech wants to win. Again, if Cal Poly wins this map, they win the entire series. They had a 1 map advantage, and from now on, if Virginia Tech want to win, they have to win every single map in this remainder of this best of 5.
I would also like to mention, just really quickly, Bagel was the pick for Virginia Tech, so they have lost 4-2 on their pick. Skytrain is the pick for Cal Poly, so this is likely either one of the maps they know that they are the strongest on, or maybe they know that Virginia Tech isn't the greatest at Skytrain. Maybe it's a case of, we're not great at it, but we know they're not great either, so we can kind of derp it out on Skytrain a little bit, derp back and forth with one another, and try and make something happen there. Or is it like, we know that, they've historically not been great with Skytrain, but we've kind of dominated Skytrain in the past. It's a whole there's an interesting amount of thought that would need to go behind these map picks, I feel, especially if you're competing for something as prestigious as first place in this collegiate season, because remember, again, this is grand finals, so if Cal Poly takes this, they are going to be they're going to be the winners of this season. So I mean, hopefully Virginia Tech is a stronger, more 5CP oriented team, because I'm also wondering, in that Bagel game, how many times an AMRF ended up dying? Was it maybe post-Uber positioning or just positioning in general that ended up killing them? And how many times was it that they got bombed and absolutely no one was watching the sky trying to deny these bombers? Those are the questions that kind of course through my mind, especially now that I've started to pick up the mantle as scout. Trying to keep track of those bombers is hard, man.
It really is, especially when they can come from multiple different areas. I don't know how open the skybox is, but there's a lot of high walls on this map. So I have a feeling that soldier high bombs, it looks like both the soldiers, even just in the warm-up, they look decently proficient with these soldier double bombs, where you bomb off the ground with your first rocket and off the wall with the second rocket. Those can be really important to just getting a bunch of height and distance, and you can come at the enemy team from really nasty angles, and that can just be very devastating if you're not looking up. Something that you really have to make sure you're doing is, especially for medics, you want to have your crosshair slightly up, which you just want to have it slightly up above that eye level, because you need to be ready for those bombs. They can come around the corners, and it's going to be very tough if you are not looking for those soldier bombs, because the soldiers will just start raining damage upon your team. They can land on the height as well and just completely take over the map space, which can be very difficult to fight back from.
Exactly. I do think the teams have been given the green light to go ahead and rup, and I do also think we have channel predictions for this map. I think we have some predictions for Skytrain. So if you haven't, oh no, they have closed. Okay, unfortunate, but maybe you can root in your heart for the team that you would like to root for, and maybe some people in the chat can educate me here. I know that some schools will have like names for their like students. Do these like schools have names for their students or whoever attends, like how Ohio State University has like the Buckeyes or something, like Hokies? Okay, I see. Virginia Tech is Hokies. I mess with that name a whole lot. But yeah, hopefully these Broncos versus the Hokies, goodness gracious. All right. Well, hopefully these two teams here on Skytrain will be able to duke it out and show some great 5CP action. Again, I'm really hoping that Virginia Tech is able to make something work here on 5CP because they really need to pull an ace out of their sleeve here if they really want to continue fighting in this series. Because once Cal Poly Gold takes this, there's no going back. You have to run it back in the next season and hope. Hope to whatever you believe in that you can maybe defeat them again if you have to match up against them in that next season. But time will tell. Again, we are just waiting for these teams to up. I do believe we have Virginia Tech ready, so we are just waiting for Cal Poly Gold to go ahead and give that go-ahead signal that they're ready to throw some nukes out. Maybe Nuke will deliver on his namesake and dish out some more crazy damage like we saw him doing on Bagel.
Yeah, there's another thing I really noticed about this map, even just going through, is there's a lot of open areas. I'm particularly worried about sniper sightlines. I don't know if any of the players on either of these teams are particularly good at sniping, but these sightlines look a little nasty on a couple of the points, and I'd be cautious to be, you might have to be aware, especially with the variety of a lot of these players are going to be at different RGL skill levels because they all go to the same school, so there's going to be some disparities, and a good sniper could very easily turn the tide in this game. Although there are, like we said earlier, there are some great high bomb opportunities, which is generally the best way to deal with sniper. You need to make sure you're shooting at the sniper constantly to make sure they can't just take free shots at you forever, because if you let that sniper take shots forever and ever, eventually the sniper's probably going to hit something and it's not going to go well for your team. So oftentimes that's going to mean getting aggressive, or at least just consistently pressuring that sniper with rockets, using the corners to kind of shoot rockets basically around the corner by jiggling back and forth. Those kinds of things can be really important to dealing with the sniper, and you want to make sure that they can't just take free shots forever.
Yeah. I mean, looking at, even just through the choke on mid, this is a pretty dubious sightline, I would say. You only have to peek out a little bit to the left and leave it to see, not crazy into their choke, but you can see into it, and it's not a great sightline, but it is a sightline nonetheless. If you curve a little too far to the side, you can get killed by that sniper. But we are live going into the first round of Skytrain here. Going to be making up the callouts as we go, because we have never seen this map before. At least I haven't seen this map before. But right off the bat, we have Rapid trying to fight that height on top of the point, the bridge here, I would say. Not very successful, and it looks like AMRF out of position here, backs up into the enemy. Toom going to be able to find Ham and AMRF, now finding Pustik as well, getting himself a 3K right off the bat, and now it's going to be Joe Schmo trying to jump forward. What a beautiful pipe from Cow. But is going to be sectioned off as Lemon finds him. It is a med trade here as Rapid is able to find Pixelated Knight. Lemon now on top of the point as well, getting taken down by Rapid. Looks like Rapid Squirrel going to be able to find a lot of the salvage plays for their teams. For their team, rather. Virginia Tech just has so much opportunity to get through the choke now.
Yeah, that was an interesting mid-fight there. There was just some high ground taking, and the rest of Virginia Tech was kind of on the point, and Bop was able to get so much damage. Bop is currently fighting here. It's going to be a trade out, so it's a 4-on-4, but there's about a 20% Uber out on the side of Virginia Tech. It looks like they want to keep fighting this. Joe Schmo with the counter bomb on top of Rapid. That's going to hurt them a lot. Cow is doing some decent damage to try to make up for it, but the health is still overall better, I'd say, on the side of Cal Poly Gold. Rapid is going to go down, and that's going to cue the retreat of Virginia Tech. Mr. Puthik is trying to get out and does manage the way out, but because the medic on the side of Cal Poly Gold got a bit aggressive and they got picked off early, there's not really an Uber out that they had, even though they killed the medic, or they killed AMRF early on the mid. So it looks like it's just going to go into an even situation here on second, and we're going to be expecting a sacrifice play here shortly from Cal Poly Gold. Right now they're just building back in their own choke, but as soon as they get Uber, they're probably going to walk their way forward, and now they do, and we will be expecting that sort of sacrifice play soon. Maybe some soldier bombs through, not sure where. I'm curious to see where they decide to try to pressure from this, but they have to do something, or else the round won't go well.
Yeah, they need to do something, and I do believe we are on the wrong config. We have 10 minutes worth of round time here,
Yeah, I
so
just
plenty
noticed
of
that
time in
too.
the world for these players to do something. Maybe that's the config they run in Collegiate TF2 League. Who knows? But Bop going to be bombing forward, able to get the force onto AMRF. The fear from the air shot, not even close. But I suppose satellite inaccuracy is able to get the force out from fear, and fear alone
Yeah, but
is
Rapid
going to
got
be
a
running
huge
forward.
yeah, Rapid got a huge drop because Pixelated Knight just walked into the doorway and then Rapid did a nice counter bomb, and now this is just going so much better for them. Even though Virginia Tech got forced, they're able to just take back mid for free. They might even get the pick here onto Bob. Rapid going for another aggressive push onto the medic, gets some decent damage, but since Rapid's by themselves, sort of, they're not really going to get anything. Although Virginia Tech wants to fight this. They do have a 3 versus 3 here. Bop is going
Huge
right
bomb
on
from
in
Bop.
onto AMRF,
Oh
and
my
they don't get the cleanup kill. That's a med dead. They do trade out 2, maybe even 3 here, although Lemon does walk back up with their med, so now this is good for Cal Poly Gold. They're going to walk back in with their heals soon.
Maybe if Cal can get some kind of trap set up here, they can maybe find the drop onto Pixelated Knight here. But as it stands, the current moment, things are not looking great. I do believe we are witnessing a pause right now as everybody has frozen in the air. Cal swimming in the sky. Looks like Q Apple's also swimming in the sky. Who all is swimming in the sky right now? We got Lemon, Q Apples, we got Cal. Who else? Who else? I believe Rapid. Rapid is also swimming in the sky. Everybody and their grandmother in this lobby is swimming in the sky right now. But I mean, as it looks, it does look like Cal Poly wants to come through choke, but they are at player disad. They are still down pretty much a player, and they don't really have to worry too much because AMRF is still dead on the side of Virginia Tech. But I do think that if one thing goes awry, it could be rather unfortunate. Okay, so I've just received a little update that they've gone ahead and re-exec the config. So what we're seeing right now doesn't matter too much. They realized the config was incorrect, so we will be seeing another first mid fight, I suppose, here relatively soon. But doesn't mean we can't still cast whatever's left, as we do see Cal Poly Gold trying to cap that midpoint here, and we do see Virginia Tech trying to come through that choke with AMRF now back up alive and my HUD frozen. Gonna be going based off intuition, but Pop going off of that that spawn is able to land the garden onto AMRF. It's a shame that's not in the actual scored match. Oh my goodness. But that's a clip for the montage regardless. Virginia Tech going to be backing out of mid pretty much immediately here as both meds are down. Going to be spawning at the same time. Same healing target time as well, I do believe. Actually, no. AMRF slightly behind, shouldn't be too detrimental in terms of disad though. But looks like they are about to swap the config over right now as things do start to slow down. Who will be the last death of this, I suppose, Thug pregame? I guess it was Tomb. Not sure who was able to pick him up. I do believe that was Q Apples was able to pick him up. Or no, I think that was Poothstick, actually, that was able to pick him up. But yeah, it does look like Virginia Tech and Cal Poly Gold going to be running it back, restarting their match on Skytrain here.
Yeah, there's a few things I was noticing. At least it was kind of like hopefully like a precursor to what we're seeing. So we got a little bit of insight as to what's going on, some of the advantages and disadvantages, or just the ways that these teams like to play, at least on 5CP. It looks like Virginia Tech likes to be a lot more confident and aggressive. I'm assuming that's Cal, probably the most experienced player, I would say, is probably doing a bit of calling and taking control of the team, trying to take them with just the medic, the demo, and the combo scout. But Cal Poly Gold is being a lot more safe. Although one thing that's happened a few times now is the soldiers from Virginia Tech have gotten these really nice timings. Most likely off of spotting, that they just catch the Cal Poly Gold medic Pixelated Knight as they're walking out of a doorway, which is something that's really crucial, because if you're stuck in a small little doorway, you don't you don't really have any place to like surf or get away. So you're pretty much forced to be juggled, and then you're going to inevitably get killed by the soldier, or at least forced. So that's something that Cal Poly Gold really wants to avoid, and they have to be, conscious and making sure their medic can maybe bait those doorways a little bit more, give their own combo scout time to like clear out for any soldiers hiding or anything like that. And the big thing for Virginia Tech is what they want to be doing is they want to be maybe slowing down just a tad to make sure their teammates are with them, because even if your combo is doing a push, it's oftentimes really important to have your flank members supporting in case the enemy team decides to fight you really hard. You can have your flank members come in from that alternate doorway and, collapse from a different angle, maybe especially on clumped up players. And that can be really important to doing pushes, especially when you have an advantage.
100%. I do think we have reached an agreement here between these two teams. I do believe Cal Poly Gold is going to be taking mid back, as that is what they had owned just before the config was reset, and both teams are going to be building up to even Ubers, as that is about what the Ubers were when the config reset as well. So we will be seeing Virginia Tech posting up on second, and Cal Poly Gold will be posting up on mid. One more try to get the config right, I suppose. Hopefully it's correct this time. But if not, then, well, I guess we'll have to see what they'll do again. I guess if they mess up again, they just give the round at that point, because, that's a pretty egregious mess up to have happen twice. One time, it's a mistake. 2 times, it's, all right, come on now, what you doing? But we are going live. Teams will, again, be building. Virginia Tech going to be setting up on their second, and Cal Poly Gold will be setting up on mid. Both teams will be building to even Ubers, and then we will see what the teams decide to do for that fight. But, yeah, I think... I guess going into it, with the Ubers going to be even here, it is, of course, going to be on Cal Poly Gold to send in a sack. And as I always say, check your watch. It is sack o'clock. The numbers on your watch should be transforming into letters at the moment and saying SAC. To indicate that you need to send someone through that choke, you need to pressure and try and get some kind of sack through. But with how this second point is structured, it seems a bit weird to try and have a sack go through. I wonder where you would try to send one through. I mean, I guess you could try and get through choke, but this is a little awkward. This is a little bit of an awkward feeling map, I would say. Very claustrophobic, but both Ubers have been built to even. Both teams are ready to engage in fisticuffs galore. Beat the living crap out of each other to see who gets to take home the point, I suppose. As now we are just waiting. It is just time. Cal going to be able to find some nice pipes onto Bop, but it is going to get traded out with Tomb finding the pick onto Q Apples. This isn't... I guess when I say claustrophobic map, it's just these little transition areas. It's these really tight corridors, I suppose. I mean, the really only open areas are the choke and just the point itself, but everything else, these other 2 doorways that Cal Poly has to get into, are very, very tight, very constrained, and any amount of spam really can do a lot of damage to him, and that looks like exactly what Rapid is trying to get through to do. Is going to eat a lot of spam in return, though. Almost gets taken out by Joshmo, but I believe finds a packer, gets an arrow there, and is able to escape with their life. Again, still even Ubers on the second. Nothing really special is happening from either team. Not a single sack attempt has been set through. I suppose Virginia Tech is just holding aggressively, trying to prevent any space from being gained by Cal Poly at all. At this point, you take the option of sack kind of off the table. You do have another minute to try and set something up, but you kind of take that option off the table. Does look like they are going to send Bop through, try and make something happen, but it's not really going to amount to anything. Bop being dead there does give Virginia Tech a lot of opportunity to try and push forward, maybe take some space that they wouldn't have originally had. But they do drop Ham here. I believe maybe some kind of counter sack as Virginia Tech now has to back all the way up. Almost drops Poothtick at the end of that as well. It's just not looking great for either team right now. Very stalematy on this map. But with Q Apples getting dropped there, now Rapid being killed as well. 3 players down for the side of Virginia Tech. It does look like Bop and Lemon going to be able to find Poothtick. Now, oh my goodness, Bob going to be able to jump through lobby and find the pick onto Ham as well. And this is going to send Virginia Tech all the way to their last. Both Ubers getting used there as well, so it is going to be an even hold on last. I don't think Virginia Tech has a lot of time for off classes that need to have maybe a Pudis or something come up. Q Apples, it's on him to try and make something happen, but they are going to go for this soldier pick first. A lot of cap time coming out. This looks like maybe some gully wash cap speed with how fast that went up. Goodness gracious. Pyro coming out, trying to do their best to deny these players, but it's going to get taken down. A nice pipe coming out from Nuke. Now Toom going to be able to find Ham as well. Rapid and AMRF going to go down from one rocket by Joe Schmo, and that is the first round in the hands of Cal Poly Gold, as we got through the trench warfare that was second point straight in to an absolutely explosive last push from the side of Cal Poly. And that'll send us into the second, technically third mid, if you want to get technical with it. But yeah. And now, looks like, again, early damage coming off onto AMRF, just eating so much, but Nuke going to get taken down very early. Q Apples finding that very crucial pick. Air shot coming out from the side of Ham, but is going to get taken down. Lemon and Bot both going to get taken down here now as well. Cal finding a nice air play, avenging Ham here. Air shot for air shot. You know, put that one in your clip montage. He's actually going to be jumping forward, trying to find the beam. That's 2 stickies! Oh my goodness gracious! Cal, you demon, is able to get in and land the 2 stickies onto Pixelated Knight, absolutely decimating the opposition here. Looks like the Hoagies are able to take second very, very easily. We do have Bop trying to hide. Hopefully they clear the spot. Yes, they do. It is going to be, I believe this is Poothtick able to find it. It is going to be Joe Schmo trying to bomb forward. Sends AMRF to the Shadow Realm all the way back into the far left choke, I suppose is what we would call that. Maybe like 2 or 1 or something, I don't know. But it is a doorway he has been sent into. And it does look like now it is up to the Virginia Tech here to maybe make something happen. They have everywhere, or all of the time in the world, rather, I should say, to try and get in. It is going to be Cal getting a lot of damage forward. Not caught up to by the beam in time, though. Completely baited by his team. Oh, no. Doesn't look great for him here, but 2 players down for the side of Cal Poly Gold. That Sentry in secret, though, is doing God's work and is defending the point very, very well. Seems like a very strong place to have a Sentry placed, but looks like Virginia Tech not quite able to hold on to that advantage, not quite able to make anything happen with it. Maybe if Cal had been caught up to with that Uber, didn't die by the right spawn, things could have panned out differently for the Hoagies, but unfortunately we are going to be seeing another mid and second kind of stalemate situation where the Ubers are even, and it's just up to one team to try and push through. But with Toom being dead on the side of Cal Poly Gold, it's really Virginia Tech's call on what they want to do. But actually, never mind. Well, never mind again. They lost Cal, and I thought it would be over, but now they've lost Bop. They have an opportunity to try and push through, but if Virginia Tech will take it is the real question. Q Apples trying to get in and make something happen, is able to find the beam for the side of Cal Poly, and now it's Poothtick trying to get in as well. Rapid going to be able to find Joe Schmo, and now Virginia Tech just has a all access pass on to second. This is the expressway ticket into 2. Ham going to be able to find that pick onto Lemon, and now again I believe this is Rapid in behind. They are kind of trickle feeding players on the side of Virginia Tech, but they have the health advantage to go for it. The spoon attempt coming in from the side of Bop here, but it's not quite successful, as Ham and Cal are both able to find, I believe that was Nuke and Bop respectively. Oh my, air shot from the side of I believe that was Ham there again. This guy is just an air shot dispenser today. Is going to be throwing out air shots left and right. And unfortunately for Joe Schmo here, I think he's about to get taken down on the top left. The Pudis does come out on top of the point just in time, but only one player down for the side of Virginia Tech here. All they have to do is kind of regroup. Hopefully they can help Putik over here on the far right, getting flanked into oblivion, but is going to be able to find Bop there at the tail end of that fight. Now it's going to be Cal walking forward, trying to clear those stickies off so they can maybe get some kind of cap time onto it, but not quite successful just yet. Edging that cap very, very slowly. It does look like we finally have Rapid able to pull up. Going to be launching those stickies away. It's one tick away from being capped, but will Cal be able to kill these players in time? Nuke will not go down, and unfortunately for Virginia Tech, it is a very botched last push, but oh, Ham not quite able to get the cap onto last, but is able to land the final deadly rocket onto Pixelated Knight and give his team that uber advantage yet again, potentially giving them another chance to push into last.
Yeah, and AMRF was able to get out in time with some nice surf, so now there's a bit of a second fight going on here. Bop and Tomb were trying to fight this, but it looks like this time there's a big double bomb from the soldiers on the side of Cal Poly Gold. They aren't able to pick up AMRF, and that's a 3-player ad. Cal Poly Gold is going to have a tough time holding this 4-player ad. Ham picks off Pixelated Knight, and here comes the attack from Virginia Tech. There is still a heavy in that little secret area, but there's just too many players, and this time Virginia Tech take their first round, and it's 1-1 here. We'll see what happens in these next fights.
Yeah, 1-1, 20 minutes left on the match clock in total. Jeez Louise, I can't speak today. Interested to see what these teams have got planned for this next upcoming mid. Looks like Virginia Tech is going to be significantly faster compared to the side of Cal Poly Gold, so hopefully they might be able to make something happen. It does look like they're going to be able to pick off Tomb very early in this fight and maybe even find a pick onto Joe Schmo as he's 2 HP in the air. Not quite an air shot, but a valiant attempt from the side of, I believe this is Rapid. Going to be bombing forward, but now look at this. Bob is coming in right on top of the point. He's going to get taken down at the very last second. Trades out with Q Apples, though, and all of Virginia Tech is pretty much dead here. Cal trying to find something for a salvage, but isn't quite able to do it. And with the beam alive on the side of Cal Poly Gold, that 60% ad will eventually be built into full. This is not looking great for Virginia Tech, as it looks like just as quickly as they had won that previous round, Cal Poly Gold has a response ready that is about 4 times, maybe 5 times faster.
Yeah, Cal Poly Gold is going to use their Uber edge, although they don't have Uber yet, so this is a bit risky to try to push when the enemy team is holding down second. There's a big fight going on both doors. The health is actually favoring Cal Poly Gold, and since they have that Uber, that 50% Uber now, they are probably going to try to use it, but Cal Poly Gold is just taking their time, but they take a little too long. They trade off 2 players, although as I say that, kills definitely go in the favor of Cal Poly Gold, except they lose their medic to a big drop. Thankfully for Virginia Tech, they do get their med out alive as well. Even though they only have 2, they're going to get spawners in time if Cal Poly Gold tried to push this. So they're going to have a full Uber. Actually, Cal Poly Gold is trying to go in there, trying to get that medic kill. AMRF with a very nice surf. Does take some splash damage. Hopefully for them, they can get back out to the reset. They decide to just stay out here, and they have that 3-player out, and they're going to push right back out to second with about a 70% Uber ed. They even have a Pyro. Do I see that right? Yes, they have a Pyro. Mr. Putik is staying on last, I think. Yeah, Mr. Putik just swapped off to Pyro to stay on last to protect. And now that they got that cap, they have about a 50% Uber ed that they're going to use to take into mid.
Yeah, this is looking pretty strong for Virginia Tech here. This is just reply after reply, but look at this. Joe Schmo coming in from the choke, going to be able to land a nice rocket onto AMRF, a downward direct, going to be pushing out that force from the side of Virginia Tech here. Now they're down 65 Uber, now 70. It's not looking great for them yet again. I mean, it just keeps flip-flopping. It looks great, it doesn't look great. And they're getting back-capped as well by Nuke and Bop here. Bop is just beelining it for last. He's uncontested. No one's there to stop him. I don't think anyone can make it in time, except for Boothdick here is able to get there at the last moment, but it's Nuclear on top of the point. It's an all-out brawl. It just takes, it's only AMRF as the one standing to defend that point, and it looks like with the bombs coming in from all the soldiers, the sticks on the point from the side of Nuke, it is just too much damage, too much area denial for Virginia Tech to handle. And looks like Cal Poly Gold going to be able to take home that second round, is going to put themselves back up in the lead, making that scoreline 2-1 going into this next mid on Skytrain here. Again, very new map, I'm sure, for some of you spectators here with us. But early on in this mid, we got Q Apples fighting for that bridge, but it's going to be Bop landing in behind, not getting taken down early enough. One stick almost landing right on top of AMRF, but is that just a little too early? And does look like Virginia Tech wanting to do something off this player ad. Nuke is in, overextending a little bit maybe, but now with Q Apples dead, there's not a lot of denial for the side of Cal Poly to worry about. It does look like Tomb going to be wanting to push forward, is going to get taken down here though, as Nuke is also taken down, and now Cal Poly going to be backing out fully onto their second, wanting to keep that Uber so they can at least have an opportunity to maybe catch some overextending players. It does look like Rapid going to be trying to jump forward, is air shot though and taken down by Bop, and AMRF thrown into the choke. That force coming out, huge bomb from Joe Schmo. Very, very, very strong play from the side of Cal Poly here, able to maintain that Uber advantage, and a nice rocket from Bop as well, able to find AMRF at the tail end of that fight as well. So Cal Poly just has so much opportunity to make something happen here, but with Pleasant Night, or Pixelated Night, just eating so many sticks from the side of Cal, with Nuke trading out there, it does look like Virginia Tech might be able to cap second at the very, very last moment, but not quite. Minecraft attempt coming out from Ham, but is not quite able to find it, and that is going to be a mid-reset for the side of Virginia Tech, potentially even backing out to their second, as they are on full Uber disap.
Well, interestingly enough, Cal Poly Gold is just going to wait for their players, and they're not even electing to push, even though they had a 5 versus 3 and a full Uber. Very interesting. Rapid does go for a sack on your own, but this is Team Fortress 2, not a single-player Fortress 2, so you need to make sure you go with a team, get some pressure and distraction from teammates, or else that's going to happen. They're all just going to look at you, and you're not really going to get much. And it's the same kind of thing with just team fights in general. You always want to fight with your team without waiting to pumping up. There's about a 25% Uber ad, but Cal Poly Gold is really taking their time. Pixelated Knight sits in the doorway and eats too much spam, gets forced, although as we say that Cal Poly Gold got both scouts on the side of Virginia Tech, and that's going to help them a lot. There is a full Uber ad now on the side of Virginia Tech, but no scouts means these soldiers from Cal Poly Gold are going to have a lot of free reign to just completely bomb over. Here come the forward spawning scouts just in the nick of time. Here comes the Uber from AMRF. They're going to catch Pixelated Knight, maybe gets the pack, but is going to get taken down, and everybody else is going to get collapsed upon, and that is going to be a full wipe for Cal Poly Gold. They just a bit overcommitted, didn't realize those spawners were coming in. They tried to both completely commit everybody, but then they didn't get the denial of the forward spawns by having players stack on mid. So what happened is it just turned into an absolute mess, and now there's going to be like a 35% Uber ad on the side of Virginia Tech, and they're going to take second right here. They're going to get healed up, and they're probably going to build up their Uber and then work this their way into last here. And I'm sure they're already going to be setting up here. We see a sentry going up from Lemon here. It's just in a pretty central spot, so we'll expect it to go down pretty quickly when that Uber inevitably comes in. And everybody else on the side of Cal Poly Gold is trenched in for the long haul. And here comes the inevitable Uber shortly, as they actually work their way to like a 60% Uber advantage.
Yeah, I do think Virginia Tech here has a very, very strong lead going into this last push. They are going to be using now, of all times. They use them pretty early, it feels. The Uber's already fading. They do manage to find Pixelated Knight here, but Sensor going down as well. Tomb going to be dying as well at the tail end of that Uber. Joe Schmo, Tomb, and Nuke, and Lemon just going to be finding picks left and right. Now with Rapid cratering to the hands of Lemon, it is going to be AMRF getting MGE'd by Joe Schmo, is going to lose that fight. But man, this is not looking good for Virginia Tech. Very botched last push. Again, I think they may have used that Uber a little too early. Maybe could have chose a different doorway to push through, spot for the gun a little bit earlier. You know, they had so much time to make something happen. They didn't have to go in as fast as they did. But, you know, the push is over. It's time to reset. You got to regroup and maybe figure it out while you're doing things now. Trying to set up on mid and prevent them from taking any more space. While you're on about 20% dis-ad here, it's not... I don't think either of these teams are looking to do very much right now. I think they're just wanting to build this out and do something later. Just kind of wait for the other team, really, to do something. Because as it stands right now, the ball is pretty much in Virginia Tech's court. The Ubers are practically even, as we do witness about maybe 10%, not even 10% ad anymore. The ball is in Virginia Tech's court here. They have to send in some kind of sack. It is sack o'clock. They need to send something in to try and get the force, or maybe they can go for the exchange. I don't judge. I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to cover what they're doing. So if they want to go for that exchange, then be my guest.
Yeah, the best thing to do oftentimes in a situation like this is to bring your heels to one door to really create some pressure, try to open up some lanes for your team to get players through, and that way you can also be distracting. Right now it looks like Virginia Tech they're not really comfortable where they're trying to do that. Cal is kind of peeking around, trying to figure that out. There's a bit of a flank fight on the other side, but nothing really comes of it besides some low health players on both sides. Yeah, Cal Poly really doesn't feel comfortable with anything. Here comes a soldier bomb, actually, as I say that. And it gets the force on the full health pixelated knight. Crucial early Uber, I think, a little bit of a fear pop, and now there's an Uber advantage on the side of Virginia Tech. It looks like Cal already wants to take this through the door. They're just going to use right on through. They don't flash their scout in time, and Cal is a little bit aggressive trying to get the flash. They do get one pick there. It looks like this scout is also caught. They'll probably get, that's a second pick, a third pick onto the demo as well. This soldier also tried to go in for a pick onto him, but is going to get picked off. That's 4 down, and that 4-person player ad is going to be really tough to overcome. There is a heavy medic combo on last, but this is going to be almost impossible. The heavy goes down almost immediately. Bombs from the soldiers, demo traps off the point, and that is a second round tying it up here in on Skytrain. Good for Virginia Tech for them, because they need to win all 3 maps.
Yeah, they've got to win the next 3 maps in a row. If they're able to win Skytrain, it'll give them some momentum to work with. But also, I think that force from the side of Cal Poly was, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it was pretty much a 150 HP force from their beam, and that just opened such an avenue for Virginia Tech to just run through and hit the right click button and just kill everyone that they saw, and all that damage on the last point as well. It's just so nuclear. But speaking of nuclear, Joe Schmo going to be bombing in, getting a lot of damage that now Virginia Tech has to take the time to heal, but they're able to heal it up just quick enough. It is absolutely decimating from the side of Virginia Tech as they get so much damage pumped out through that choke. They're just able to completely force Cal Poly off of second and mid as well in that fight. Does look like it is going to be even Ubers here. Cal Poly will have full time to set up on last, especially with Cal needing to respawn here. I think Ham may die here to Tomb if he's not careful, and thankfully does play around all, but is able to, I believe is a Joe Schmo here, is able to get the force out from the side of Virginia Tech. A nice bomb, a nice couple rockets is going to be able to get that force out. Couldn't catch the Med's health before that force there, unfortunately, but I'm sure it was, hopefully they had some time to try and react to it, or give their scouts a moment to react. But it does look like Tomb going to be waddling forward, is going to die for it here. The Uber does come out from the side of Cal Poly as well, but the back cap, they didn't clear every doorway, and Virginia Tech is going to get a back cap onto Cal Poly, making the scoreline 3-2 with about 8 minutes left on the match timer. And I do believe this is Banny config?
It is, yeah. That was a really interesting fight there, because Ham and Cal were the ones to go down initially, so then Cal Poly Gold used that 2-player image to get the force, and then it looked like that was going to be better for them. They eventually then used, but then just went too far forward, didn't clear all the players, and that leads to a back cap. This time Virginia Tech finally in the driver's seat, or at least having the advantage. There's only 8 minutes left in the regular time here. Big high bomb from Joe Schmo. Isn't really going to get a huge amount. It's just going to trade out 2 soldiers for a soldier and a scout, although Cal is isolated on this right side. Is going to get picked off by Tomb at 1 HP, but Q Apples and Cal just a bunch of picks. Rapid gets another pick. It's a 2 versus 1. Q Apples is about the same health as 2, but Rapid is going to come in right at the last second, but it doesn't even matter. Q Apples wins the fight, and that's a 1 mid by Virginia Tech.
Apples winning that MGE there on top of that point is very crucial for Virginia Tech. They'll have those forward spawns for Cal, and everybody else will be able to kind of take them as well. AMRF going to be grabbing them just now as well. Very strong series so far. Bagel started off rough, but does look like Virginia Tech has found their bearings. They figured out what they want to do. They're definitely experienced on Skytrain, and maybe this is a pick from Cal Poly where it's like, we don't want to give, like, I don't even know the philosophy that they could maybe have behind it, but that's not important right now, as we do see Cal Poly trying to push through mid here. It is going to be Puthtik able to back out all the way, and Cal Poly is going to be getting this midpoint, it seems. Well, actually not quite. I do think we are going to see some bombs coming in from the side of Rapid. Does try and go for it, is taken down. That actually isn't taken down. It does look like Q Apples and Puthtik are going to be able to find Nuke Joe Schmo. Now Cal going to be able to find Lemon as well. Everybody's dying. Knight dying on the side of Cal Poly as well. There's so many crucial mistakes that are happening from Cal Poly this game. It looks like they might be maybe more of a DM team. They shine more on Koth maps or something like that. So maybe Virginia Tech has a strong chance to actually win this one. The Hokies here looking for anything right now. That Uber does come out, so that sentry needs to come down fast. NG and Scout both going to be going down. Cal on that 4 kill streak, and youch! That is going to be the 4th round one for Virginia Tech. That makes it map point, with the score line being 4-2 in favor of Virginia Tech. But yeah, going into this next mid, hopefully for the Cal Poly fans, they can fix things up here, because their mids have not been working recently.
Yeah, but at least it's not the end of the world even if they lose this map, although obviously Cal Poly Gold would like to just end this series right here on this map, but all they have to do is win one more map. Q Apples gets another early pick, just goes right in on behind, draws 2 people away. A lot of space created, but with Q Apples going down and this other soldier being very low, Toon getting another kill into Ham, and that's going to be really huge on the side of Virginia Tech. Cal is going to get caught out as well, and the rest of Virginia Tech is going to have to leave. And with the 6-on-3, actually, this actually should be enough for Cal Poly Gold to just push off of this. As you see, not all the doors are being watched. Only one can really be watched, but they're actually trying to fight into the same door there. They do manage to get the kill onto Lemon, but there's been so much time and space. Although Toon just runs right onto Amaranth, barely surviving on the side of Amaranth does. But here comes the direct Uber in. Amaranth did get Uber in time, so it's an Uber exchange. This turned out a lot worse for Cal Poly Gold with just a few small misplays. And now it's 2 scouts down. Rapid with a big bomb does eat a nice pipe from Nuke. And Nuke does get the kill. Nice air shot to Roller's situation there. And now it's 2 soldiers down on the side of Virginia Tech. The 2 scouts of Virginia Tech clean up Nuke. That's going to be big for them. They're going to try to push out of this door, but a soldier is holding that down. Q Apple's trying to take a fight here. Isn't going to work out, and there's just too much of a hold here on the side for Cal Poly, so Virginia Tech really can't get anything going. Bop gets another kill. Even though a demo is down, just 2 players is going to be more than a demo, and Virginia Tech backs up to their own second with about an even Uber advantage, and I'm assuming as soon as these players get here, we'll start to see some pressure.
It looks like this map is very demo-centric, kind of something you would see like Gully, so having your demo down there had a very, very large opening for Virginia Tech to maybe push through and try and take mid, but it doesn't look like they wanted to take that. It does look like Cal Poly going to be pushing through Choke here, taking the conventional route. Does look like a potential Uber exchange could happen, and that is exactly what is going on. 2 players down on the side of Virginia Tech here, so Cal needs to find anyone to try and equalize this in the post. Does look like, oh my goodness, what a flick from Joe Schmo, going to be able to take down, I believe that was Rapid there. AMRF dying as well. Cal Poly here has a very, very free run all the way to last here to try and cap the point. They are going to have to take down this sentry early, but I don't really think it matters as Lemon is just able to stand on top of the point. It's pretty much right there, the cap. Cal Poly just needs to have their players group up together, get healed, get buffed, do whatever you can to try and make this point convert, but they're beating one by one, and it looks like Joe Schmo is going to die in lower, but no, he gets out at the last second. This is not looking great for Cal Poly right now, at least his push This initial push, rather, didn't look swell, but they know that they're going to have to commit to that last. They have about 30-40% Uber ad, so this is definitely actionable. They can maybe make something happen here as Q Apple's trying to contest Bop up here, but is going to die now. Cow dying as well, trying to get some cap time, or sorry, trying to get a sack in on to second, but what a shot from Joe Schmo, really, just able to protect his combo so effectively there. Air-shotting the players that the scouts cannot catch, I suppose. And it does look like we're going to be seeing Cal Poly pushing forward onto the point. Tomb on the heavy here, going to be doing a lot of damage to Scout. Uber, solo Scout, and that is going to be an instantaneous cap for the side of Cal Poly Gold. Scoreline going to be 3-4. Banny time kicks in about 1 minute 30 here as we wait for infinite overtime to really determine. Well, I guess it won't change much besides, you know, they have all the time in the world to get to 5.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be first team to 5 here since a team already got to 4. And one thing that was important there is just Virginia Tech just went way too aggressive after they held it, and they just lost.
Bop is getting so much spam from behind on the red crate.
Big bomb from Bop isn't actually going to end up getting any kill because they kind of just sat on the height in front of the enemy team. It is traded 1-for-1, and the damage is actually favoring Cal Poly Gold here. If Nuke gets a kill into Cal, that's a big demo pick. 2 players on this like flank valley area, very low here, and they're just going to retreat, and that's going to be a 1 mid for Cal Poly Gold. They're going to cap the point, and they're probably going to already try to pressure. It looks like that's what they're looking to do. Yeah, they're trying to bring this in through that double doors area here. Nuke already pressuring, and they're not really committing, but it's going to be an even Ubers, even players situation here, although Rapid actually takes the fight on Joe Schmo, wins the fight with the aid of the pack. And it's just going to be probably a sack situation. Tomb does trade out, getting a kill, and it's a 5-on-5, and we should see a sack play here anytime soon.
Yeah, if things do go as they should in a situation like this, there should be a sack coming through. I do think Cal Poly here has a little bit of an advantage. They do have to... they don't really have to do as much as I think Virginia Tech has to do in terms of trying to make things happen. Virginia Tech has, I hate to say it, but has been a little weak in the combo here, and has been letting a couple things slide through that shouldn't be slipping through. But it does look like the double spam from pipe down onto the choke is going to be just enough to force out that Uber from the side of Cal Poly. And Ham is just going to be here spamming everybody in that choke, preventing them from really pushing, and Q Apple's going to be doing that as well. But Virginia Tech is just losing so many players. They had too much focus on the choke, and they are going to be paying the price for it, as now Cal is caught in, is going to be used on, though, as Nuke waddles forward into lobby, does get some sticky setup behind, not quite able to kill anyone with it, though, as the Uber did not fade in time. But all players on the side of Cal Poly are going to be able to find some value even in that post, as even Lemon is able to find a pick. It's not great from the side of Virginia Tech. They're feeding 4 into that choke just to try and prevent 2 players from coming in, and you weren't even, you know, able to stop them is very, very unfortunate. Hopefully they'll be able to get their bearings here, but with about 30-40% ad from the side, no, it's 30% ad, now 25-ish actually, looking more like 20 now, as they are starting to falter in their building on the side of Cal Poly. They do still have some actionable ad now, as the building from Virginia Tech has slowed down to pretty much a halt. But Cal Poly now has the opportunity to go through. They are going to try and send in a sack to spot the gun, and it is successful. They know where that gun is now. Maybe not necessary to try and feed in that far. You could peek and see the gun out just a little bit if you just peek out from the doorway, but Ubers are going to end up evening out here. We are going to maybe see some kind of sack attempt into last, maybe some kind of off-classing situation, with Tomb being dead here. Now Rapid dying as well, maybe trying to go for some kind of counter sack. The Ubers do come out. They are exchanging inside of lobby here, interestingly enough. I do think Cal Poly used earlier. Uber looking significantly better for the side of Virginia Tech, but they don't want to push off of that. They just want to commit to holding on to last, especially while they're down 2 players. They know one slight blunder could send them back to their spawn room, send them back to fighting mid for what could be, you know, series point, really. What could send them into absolute, you know, dismay.
Yeah, it's still just an even Uber situation. One player down, but since Virginia Tech has a gun and they have the round lead, they don't really see any reason to, like, you know, give this up. They're looking for a round reset, to be honest, which is only going to be 2 minutes away, so they don't have too long to hold, but that gives a couple of opportunities for Cal Poly Gold to try to go for some sort of sacrifice play. Right now, like you said, there's no off classes, so they're just going to, ideally for them, try to spam down the gun so they can get rid of that, and then try to pressure from a couple of the doors, just trying to get a soldier in for free, because if you don't spam down this gun first, you can't really get a soldier to just bomb in. The gun's just going to snipe you right out of the air and lock you down, but once they do kill the gun, that allows the soldiers to go for some high bombs off these walls. Right now, they're just poking and prodding on the side of Cal Poly Gold. It looks like they're actually going to Uber their demo out lower. I don't know if that was a planned Uber, but they get juggled. They lose Lemon in the Uber. This is really bad for Cal Poly Gold. They're eventually just going to say they're going to cut their losses and get out here. Bob gets killed too. That's 2 down, and even though both scouts on the side of Virginia Tech are low, or a scout and a soldier were low, they're just 2 down, and that's going to make it a lot harder for them to push out. Rapid gets in on the side. Pixelated Knight is alone, and Rapid's going to get that kill too.
Not a soul bats an eye.
No Uber's even been forced. Nobody's looking. Ham gets in from the side, but they don't spot above, and Joe Schmo is able to get the salvage counter force, which is really great for at least, you know, a better situation. You know, it's just a salvage for Cal Poly Gold, and they're probably going to have to set back up on second here, although it looks like they would try to set back up on mid, but they are down players and they lost their medic. But
yeah, I really, unfortunately for Cal Poly there, not a single soul batted an eye at the fact that Knight was just getting bombed by Rapid. They were too focused on the point, but AMRF is way out of position here on top of the point, is going to get taken down. A nice bomb coming in from Bop as Tomb softens him up for him. It does look like Virginia Tech going to be losing a lot of players here. Is going to be backing out of the choke, and it is going to be Bop jumping forward, and with the help of Nuke, is going to be able to find Cow and Puthik as well, and is getting chased rapidly by Rapid, I guess following their namesake. Counter jumping the garden attempt. Bop just really wants this clip, I suppose, and is gonna die for it. Unfortunately for Bop there, the clip was not in the cards, and does look like we have Joshmo trying to push in here. Nuke trying to push in as well. Kind of trickle feeding here on the side of Cal Poly, and they're not quite able to find anything really of value on it. Oh my goodness, Joe Schmo with the air shot onto Rapid is going to be able to protect his combo yet again, doing what the scouts are struggling to at this current moment. It seems these soldiers are just coming in too fast for the scouts to react. This is just not looking great for Cal Poly right now, even in spite of that, as again, Knight is just left alone, has the sloppy out looking for something, but can't quite find anyone to get them, or can't quite find anyone to pick down. And unfortunately for the side of Cal Poly here, it looks like Virginia Tech is going to be rapidly advancing onto 2, looking to find something, anything really, trying to find that last push. And with that full Uber ad, they might just find it, and this might push us into the 3rd map of the series, as the cap is basically fully done already. A lot of damage coming out from Cal as they find the sentry. The sentry goes down. Sticky's on top of the point here. The Uber is fading. Only 2 players are dead for the side of Cal Poly. Now 3. Rapid dies. Now Puthik down as well. The beam walks forward. It's just Cal and Ham. Ham goes down. It's just Cal. The last Bastion gets jumped by Joe Schmo. They almost C9, 1 tick away, but they manage to hold on till the very end. They need to leave someone here, and they're going to be leaving Nuke here on the point to defend it. An absolutely massive, gargantuan hold from the side of Cal Poly as Q Apples tries to feed in for the cap but does end up dying. It is going to be Cal Poly capturing second here, securing themselves another fighting breath. They get another chance here to try and do something. Ham is up on Spy here. We do have the off-classy. Decloaks right in front of Nuke. Butter Knife 1, Butter Knife 2. Goes for the ambi shots. He gets 3. He gets 4 in a row. Oh my God.
Oh no, that's just absolutely brutal. There is a mid cap already going on. They're also trying for the back cap. It looks like I think Cal Poly Gold is going to get this because there's not really a stop, and Lemon comes in and stops Ham on the back cap attempt. Cal Poly Gold does have a nice Uber advantage, about a 40%, and for them, they probably want to use it, especially because they have that player advantage too. I know Nuke is still spawning, but you definitely want to go before you let the enemy team get Uber. You got to be very careful about that there. Although there isn't really some good building going on from Virginia Tech, so they have more time than they think, but I think they just they didn't know about this poor building, so they're just going to play it evens, and it's an even Ubers, even players situation here. Joe Schmo trying to work for some damage onto Q Apples here, but isn't going to get anything after the bomb from Ham, and that's just going to turn into an even Ubers, even player situation. We'll see what teams try to, Cal Poly Gold tries to do, because it's on them to get something done. They have the midpoint. Bob is going to go down early. There's a lot of pressure from one door, but not really any pressure from any other doors, and it's just going to get stuffed really hard.
Yeah, I think what you said about them not really knowing it was ad rings true. I think they just didn't know that the building on the side of Virginia Tech was very poor, suboptimal, as some may say. It's me, I'm some. It wasn't great to see them, hold on to mid right there and try and stalemate it, but they can only work with the information they have, and unfortunately for Cal Poly, that does mean giving up the ad that they had. But man, it is not looking great for either team at the moment, as they're just sitting kind of stalemating very, very hard. I mean, no one's really able to get through on either side. No one can get through from the side of Virginia Tech. No one can get through from the side of Cal Poly. And, I mean, we're seeing Bop and Toom, I think, try to pressure or maybe even push through, but they're not quite able to get anything. And Ham, I think, maybe trying to push through or pressure as well, not quite able to find anything either. So, again, this is just stalemate central. Bop does go down here as the players do push out on the side of Cal Poly Gold. They do try and Uber through that doorway, and the Uber exchange does come out here. The Uber does flash for the side of Virginia Tech. It does look significantly worse. We could be seeing some Med v Med MGE here, but no, not quite, as Virginia Tech is able to pour out onto the point here and collapse on whoever is left in that fading health pool, and is able to pretty much wipe all of Cal Poly. We could be seeing a situation not too dissimilar to the previous one we witnessed just moments ago, but the real question is, will they be able to hold on to last in the same way that they were able to last time? Will they be able to hold on by a singular thread, by pretty much one tick of cap time being necessary? Time will tell. We do have, I believe this is Q Apples going behind, does lose the MGE between him and Toom, and now I do think that this is going to be Virginia Tech backing out. Gonna have to concede some of this ad. Might not have to give it up completely, but will have to concede a good chunk of it to wait for their players. With no scouts here, pushing into last would be very, very dangerous. Joe Schmo is going to be jumping up from lower, misses the air shot, but does land the second rocket. A massive drop from Joe Schmo, is able to find Q Apples as well. Ham going to be able to find Toom, and now Nuke going to be able to find Cal. It is going to be Rapid dying, I believe Joe Schmo dying to Ham here. Ham now getting traded out with Nuke, but 4 players down on the side of Virginia Tech, now 5, as Rapid tries to go in for some kind of salvage and dies to the Sentry. But this is absolutely gargantuan. This is massive for the side of Cal Poly. They just need someone out on second to try and secure that cap. It is going to be Lemon, who is losing the battle here. No one else is with him, so it is just an Edgy and a Beam on second right now. But now all the remaining players do come forward. It is going to be Bob trying to bomb forward as well, but it is going to be Toom dying to Cal and those well-placed stickies. Rapid coming in from the low ground, going to be doing some good spam. Coming in through lower lobby now, going to be fighting Joe Schmo and Pixelated Knight with the beam down on the side of Cal Poly. I think this might be it for Skytrain as we witness Q Apples going into secret. It is possible that a back cap could happen. He's baiting the cap. No one's looking down at him. It's one pick away almost yet again. All Virginia Tech has to do is wait for their players, but too many of them died at inopportune times or all on different respawns, and unfortunately for Virginia Tech, I don't think they're going to be able to really push in off of this anytime soon.
Yeah, they keep just like going in and completely diving for the point, but Cal Poly Gold is like not. They're like actively fighting the point. So what Virginia Tech really needs to do with their advantages on these pushes is they really need to be taking some space and fighting together, the clumped up players as a team. Ham gets a pick onto Joe Schmo, but two low players on the side of Virginia Tech. Actually, not even one of the low players. Ham goes down. There's a soldier here. Q Apples goes down, and that's two picks for Cal Poly Gold. But yeah, there's still nothing like crazy going on. Although, as I say that, Bop just goes right in on for a bomb. Gets Amaroth and Rapid. Huge. Here comes the aggressive push finally from Cal Poly Gold. They were really scared about pushing out without like a huge Uber or like a huge like advantage in terms of players in Uber. But this time they got it, and now it's just 2 up, and they have a big player at ad, so they're just going to walk their way all the way into mid. There is Ham hiding under the point. It has not been cleared. When is Ham going to go? Ham is trying to buy his time. He doesn't know where the medic is, and he gets spotted out by Joe Schmo. Doesn't get anything there, and that's the salvage attempt failed. It's still about an 80% Uber advantage for the side of Cal Poly Gold, so they're, especially with their player ad, they should be taking this push in here shortly. It looks like they've decided where they want to go. They've got their combo going in through this right side. Actually, it looks like they're still a bit undetermined. Okay, they finally decided where they want to go through. And the medic is actually really close. If they use it, this could be really big. Here comes the aggressive Uber. Amaranth is caught. And another scout as well is caught. Huge air shot from Nuke. Oh my goodness. And Mr. Puthig is about to die too. Does get out. Huge bomb from Ham. Did you just get a 3-for-1?
I think that was a 3-for-1 that we just witnessed. Ham just absolutely decimated pretty much all of Cal Poly getting that, but I don't really think it matters at the end of the day. Well, I guess it does here, as they're not fast enough, not quite able to get onto that cap in time. We are seeing a situation pretty much the mirror of the situation we witnessed just moments ago, where Virginia Tech tried to get in and do something, but they just weren't able to, and they got the point like just to that final portion, but weren't able to have enough pressure onto it to actually cap the point. So looking at it now, it looks like Virginia Tech going to be coming into the middle here, looking to find any picks at all. Bop is going to be able to find AMRF in the back line, though, with the beam on the side of Virginia Tech being dead. I think that is a massive benefit for the side of Cal Poly Gold that is going to force the players on Virginia Tech to either consider going for a sack or maybe just trying to take the dry. You know, it is still technically even right now. There's nothing preventing you from trying to take that dry fight. If you're confident in your DM and you're confident in your ability to dish out that damage. I think with Cow on your team, we witnessed on Bagel, you know, he had like 430 DPM or something. Cow was definitely more than able to make something work here. Definitely more than able to get some good damage, you know, soften up some targets for your soldiers. You got to be playing around your teammates more here, and I think Virginia Tech's biggest flaw is that they're very passive, they're very timid, and then when they do end up pushing in, they're very fragmented. They're not playing around one another. They just hear damage calls, and whoever's nearest to that guy will go over and shoot. They don't have anyone peel. They don't have any of that. And Q Apples is going to be dying here as we do witness Cal Poly wanting to push out here. Going to be coming in through lobby, it seems, as the Uber does get popped. It is going to be the demo bombing forward, trying to get any picks possible. Nuke going to be able to find Rapid. Oh my goodness. Lemon going to be able to find Cal. AMRF going to die here as well. And now they're capping mid. Lemon doesn't notice Ham above him, the pencil of a lifetime.
Okay.
Ham going to be able to find Joe Schmo. I'm not sure.
Q Apples ran out of the forwards on NG, trying to set up a gun. Oh, and then Nuke gets a trap kill on Mr. Puthik. Oh no. That was a big miscommunication there from AMRF and Cow. They like thought, oh, we're gonna go fight back in, and they didn't, and they just got caught in that little narrow hallway, and they just got caught to the Uber. After they lost 2 players and they did get the force, that was just a huge misplay from Virginia Tech, and now they're on their own last. And if they give another point, you know, that's going to be 4-4. And if, again, if Cal Poly gets to 5 rounds here before Virginia Tech gets their 5th round on this map, the series is over with the Cal Poly victory. There is about a 40% Uber advantage, I would say, here on the side of Cal Poly. It looks like they're already getting prepared. Looks like their combo is probably going to go through this top left door here. They're going to use through right on their scout, trying to get some early kills. They get a kill into Ham. Nuke goes for a huge bomb early. Mr. Putik is really low. There's 2 down already. The soldier goes down, the demo goes down. It's just the gun in the spot, but it's just Q Apples is gonna die. The med drop down from spawn, and that is it. That's a 4th round. Cal Poly Gold, if they can win one more round and prevent Virginia Tech from winning this last round, they win the entire season.
Yeah, this could be the penultimate round. This is the absolute... this is the decider. This will determine whether or not we see sunshine. This will determine whether or not we have Cal Poly as your fall 2024 collegiate champions. This determines a lot right now. But looking at this mid, immediately a lot of forward presence coming in from Virginia Tech and not a lot of space from the side of Cal Poly. They're very fragmented, all bunched up on that left side of mid, it looks like, but it is going to be Tomb going down. Bop going to be able to trade out with Q Apples here. It does look like Bop getting a lot of damage, but no one's really able to follow up on it until now, as Lemon is able to just beeline it towards AMRF, is able to body block the pack, but not quite. Lemon is struggling greatly to take down AMRF here, and as his entire team dies behind him, he is able to find the pick onto AMRF. Pixelated Knight not even trying to mount a defense against the scout that is looking at him. Manages to get him once with the sloppy. Will he get the second? He gets the second! Oh my god! This is not real. Oh my goodness, the sloppy has been distributed here from the side of from Pixelated Knight.
Pixelated Knight stayed so long. There was no way they should have gone out alive. That's
goodness.
Absurd.
How they get the pack there. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe what I've just witnessed. But yeah, this is full Uber ad for the side of Cal Poly here. This could be, you know, the deciding blunder as Rapid goes down here. Cal Poly has a very, very easy push into mid. They don't even have to use their Uber. They can just edge this point away and bully these players significantly. And that is going to be a 1 mid for the side of Cal Poly. Now looking at it here, 50% Uber ad, still pretty much full. All they have to do is push through a doorway on second. Maybe if they use through, they can pick up a lot of good kills. They're playing relatively aggressively on the side of Virginia Tech for how much disad they're at. But Cal Poly needs to act swiftly. They need to be quick. It is going to be Nuke jumping forward. 2 stickies landing on top of the beam. Only one going to be landing any good damage here. The Uber does get popped. It is going to be Rapid jumping behind. Going to be able to find a pick onto Joe Schmo now. And now it is going to be Rapid, I think, dying on top of the point here. But Virginia Tech now sitting with that Uber advantage. Potentially Putik dying here. No, not quite. Well, maybe Bob can land a cross map, but no, not quite able to find one. Bop is still trying to find something with Tomb going down lower, maybe going in to last to try and get some kind of sack. They get the drop from lower. Oh my goodness, it's a 2K as well. They find Cow. This is ridiculous. This can't be happening. Virginia Tech bros, the Hokies, are praying right now, gripping at straws, hoping to everything that is ever able to be hoped upon, wishing upon a star at this point that they're able to cling on to this last. But with 90% Uber ad, this is practically, you know, full disad. You don't have anything to work with here. You don't even have a sentry. You have no Pudis. You have nothing. So right now we could be witnessing the final round, as I do think we see Nuke wanting to push to the right side. We need these stickies cleared, though. We need a soldier through the choke to maybe make something happen. These stickies need to be cleared. Someone's got to go through before Nuke. It can't just be Nuke. Now he's up in the stratosphere, lands on that sentry. He's going to be able to take it down here. Does get launched up into the beam by the splash. Is going to be able to take down AMRF. The point is open right now. 3 players down on the side of Virginia Tech. It's going to be maybe an air shot coming onto Q Apples, but not quite. It is going to be Q Apples dying. Nonetheless, it is just Putik and Ham. Ham going to be bombing forward, but is going to lose this MGE. It's just Putik, but it doesn't matter. He's not defending the point. Ladies and gentlemen, all friends in between, Cal Poly Gold are gonna be your 2024 collegiate champions, your fall collegiate champions rather, in a very, very hard fought battle against Virginia Tech. The final map of the series going 5-4. My goodness, what a final round.
There was so much back and forth there, my goodness. I can't wait to take a look at these logs. But wow, uh, that was that was crazy. And I mean, honestly, even just looking at these second round logs, the reason why this game was so much closer was all because of the fact that there just weren't like the same death discrepancy was not there. AMRF only had 4 more deaths than Pixelated Knight, although Pixelated Knight got away with some crazy med libs there. Very,
Yeah.
very clutch on their part. But in general, just a nuke dropping a nuke on this map, very well done on their part. Um, yeah, I mean, besides that, it looks still like a little bit like favored just in general for Cal Polytech in terms of the kills, just a bit more coordinated. And I can't wait to even take a look at these combined logs, but that was a very back and forth match, even though it only went like essentially 2-0.
Yeah, that was a man, that was a very, very strong display from the side of from Cal Poly there right at the end. And looking at these logs, I have posted them in our Mumble as well. Nuke here kind of stealing the show away from Cal. Well, not really, actually. These demos are very evenly matched. I believe these are the 2 highest kills in the server. Actually, the 3 highest kills in the server. Lemon at the top of the charts with 42, 18, and 22 is their stats. Got a nice 2.7 KAD. Closely followed by Nuke at 41, 12, 21, 302 DPM. Putting in God's work, really just softening up the enemies for his team, and not to discredit Bop as well with 294 DPM. A lot of great value bombs, creating a lot of space for his team, just doing so much for their players. It is just so, so, so nice to see these soldiers not fearing wanting to, just jump forward, not fearing wanting to kind of push in. And I think it is a testament to Virginia Tech is definitely more of a 5 CP team, I think we've witnessed, but unfortunately they weren't able to hold on to that momentum of getting those very early wins, and they weren't able to convert that final penultimate round, and Cal Poly Gold was able to just, steal it away. A massive drop coming in, if I remember correctly, from Nuke just being able to jump forward, or it was either Bop or Nuke able to just jump forward and land on top of that beam, getting so much damage out at once. It was just absolutely decimating for the side of Virginia Tech there, and it's an unfortunate way to go. But it's a strong 50-minute match of Skytrain.
Yeah, that was a pretty close match to Skytrain, honestly. Yeah, 15 minutes is definitely no slouch, especially for, a map that I guess a lot of the teams, like some of the teams might be, or a lot of players just might be unfamiliar with. Like you had said, it looked like Virginia Tech were better at 5 CP, yet Cal Poly banned Koth, and then Virginia Tech picked Koth, which was odd. I'm a little confused there. I don't know. Maybe there was just some pre-scouting they had done, or maybe they just, it's just how they felt. But then it just turned out to be the other way around. Not sure, but it was definitely a lot closer of a second map than a first map. We can even take a look at the combined logs eventually if we get into those. And I mean, just looking at it, you can see the Cal had a massive performance on this map, or just in general in the series, but not able to take it over the line. But Bop had a massive performance too as well, going positive on Soldier with a very large damage delta, damage taken differential. Um, yeah, and I mean, looking at the deaths as well, you can even see it. Like even though they were pretty much even on the second map, those deaths on the first map from.
Yeah, I think Cal just decimating, really. I mean, looking at the combined logs, keeping a DPM over 350 in the combined logs, having 78, 30, and 50, managing to keep a 2.2 KAD in the combined logs, only matched by Nuke himself, and that's with a 4K damage difference, doing 4K damage less than Cal. So there's a very large amount of there's a large amount of damage being dished out by Cal, but unfortunately for Virginia Tech, they just weren't able to convert it to kills a lot of the time. Like you said, there isn't that much of a kill discrepancy in this Skytrain match, but 20 kills is still 20 kills. It kind of it's a little unfortunate, but I mean, what can you say really? I mean, Cow is really trying to soften up the enemies here and is doing a great job at it, but just not being able to convert these kills, the rest of his teammates not being able to mop things up, and unfortunately, not being able to really have things go their way is just extremely unfortunate for Virginia Tech. But I I do believe that will probably end up doing it for us tonight. That is the end of the Cal Poly Gold versus Virginia Tech coverage. Massive congratulations to both teams, and especially Cal Poly Gold for taking home that first place. Just a friendly reminder, Fireside is raising funds to cover expenses for the Fireside Denver LAN. You can donate using the link in the Streamlabs message just above the subscribe plug, or you can also use !LAN. You can also do !OnlyFans if you want to subscribe to us using Patreon to support us more directly than a Twitch subscription. Everything we make pretty much goes back into making Fireside better. You can donate items as well. You don't have to just donate cash. You can donate items using the Manco store link, using the Stream Elements message as well. But I do think that will wrap it up for us here tonight. Do you have any shout outs before we go, M17?
Shout outs to all the players. I didn't expect such a good game, but that was very close and very enjoyable. And shout outs to, of course, Dr. Underscore in production. Always got a shout out to production. Always an unsung job. Thanks. And, thanks to everybody watching, of course.
Yeah, I gotta echo that. My shout outs, got a shout out Underscore for the production. Shout out you for co-casting this with me. Shout out all the players as well, the teams, everybody. Shout out Collegiate TF2 as well for staying around, sticking around, and keeping this stuff running, and also implementing a new map that most people haven't seen outside of Collegiate, probably. So that was definitely a lot of fun to look at. But yeah, that will do it for us tonight here at Fireside. I'm not sure if we have anything planned out for the rest of the week, but if we do, you'll want to tune in. You'll want to watch. You won't want to miss it. I do think though that that'll be it. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you whenever we come back with another cast.
Have a good night.